right. Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. Throwback Thursday. Oh my gosh. I need to put a picture of me when I was 30 years younger. That shy 15-year-old girl. Oh, I remember her well. She was so insecure about just everything. I didn't come into my own, I guess you could say, womanly features until it was like almost senior year. Give me just a second. I gotta close this. Turn that way. Okay, well, the glasses are always gonna be doing that, unfortunately. Hi, everybody. So today is a good day. Sunny outside, feeling great. Trying to get this thing to raise up. It didn't want to let me. Okay. Well, anyhow, so what I want to talk about is when you're on this journey and you make the decision to go on your journey, okay? This is really for people in a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, that may be struggling in their relationship due to having a mental illness, or a single person. This is not for married folks, unless you are just on the verge of divorce because of, your illness or their illness or whoever. This is because I don't like to talk about marriage, because that's not a topic that I usually dive into. But one thing that is very, very important is that we make a decision on if we really think it's best for us to go on our journey by ourselves. And when I say by ourselves, that means no dating. It's almost like when you go to AA and they tell you that you need a whole year, and don't date. And the reason why is because you have to heal yourself from the inside, and you're not strong enough or reliable enough. And you're allowed to say that. You can say, I'm not reliable enough, because you don't have extra emotions to give to them and their needs. So when you start falling short of spreading yourself too thin, that's when you should take a step back and really think about, hey, is this the best thing? Should I just go ahead and do this journey by myself until I am in a position where I feel like I love myself and I am truly, truly being my genuine, true self? And you know what that looks like. When it gets to that point, yeah, I say definitely, maybe, pick up that relationship, or, or start dating, or wherever you're at in your life. Not everybody is in their 40s and single. I'm not trying to say that. Or, say that, the only time in your life you can, deal with your mental health is when you're single. And that's not true. Because when you're married, that's when joint counseling goes into effect. And that's a whole nother video. Okay. And I don't even want to really even tap into that, because that's not really my expertise. But when you do have a husband or a wife and you are ready to make this journey, that's a talk that you two need to sit down and have a talk with and put a plan together. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But when you're single, and you are not in a committed marriage, and you are not, whatever, and or you have a relationship, you're living together, and it's just not working. There's the frustration of it, and that's where you have to decide, okay, you know what, maybe I should go ahead and be on my own and allow myself time to fix these blockages inside of me that drain all of my energy. And your partner may be draining your energy as well. So you got to look at both. Are they feeding your energy in a positive way? Are they emotional? They give you the emotional support? Because if they don't, they're draining your energy. And that's unfortunately, the raw truth is when you are in a relationship, are they draining, your energy, and are you projecting all your energy on them? So you're not focusing nothing on you. So therefore you're not loving yourself. So I want to just talk a little bit about how, and I wrote some of this stuff down, get better at explaining, and it being a little bit better in order. The one thing that when you're on your journey and you do have that communication that I talked about in my last video with the people around you, the people that are in your lives, your children, the one thing you don't need, you have to understand, this is your purpose. This is your journey. It's what you decided to do, to fix, to start maintaining, to start coping, to start living correctly in a positive manner that's healthy for your complete mental awareness, your thought process. You don't need their validation. You don't need their appreciation either. And when I say you don't need their appreciation is because a lot of us grew up, or when we figured out when that trauma first started, was that it scared us into seeing ourselves as a people pleaser. And I became a people pleaser very young. I mean, I think before I figured out I was always a people pleaser because I wanted attention. I was the youngest child of seven children. So the person I wanted the most attention from was my father. And I didn't really get it in my young years, but I got it, I guess as I got older, I got it. He was kind of that type of dad that worked all the time. And he didn't do the whole baby stuff, so that was kind of left to, my mom and older sister and whatever babysitter, we had, or whatever that may be, because I had several, because my mom always worked. She didn't even really do the baby stuff, really. But I just know that, we have to get down to what's going to be best for us, because if we have distractions from that relationship, or distractions of the pressure of, dating, that's no good. And you wouldn't want to go out on a date with somebody that doesn't know you personally, and you tell them you're not doing certain things because you're on a journey to get better mental health. Because really, first thing, it's none of their business. Second thing, that's not a conversation you want to have with somebody that doesn't know you. And when you do this and you decide that, okay, I'm going to go on this journey by myself, it's where there's no distractions to keep you away from your goals, because you are your own worst enemy. We all are. We're so hard on ourselves. We have the deep insecurities from trauma. And when we get insecure, we think, oh my God, I can't be alone in this. Oh my God, I can't do this by myself. You can do it by yourself, but you need to have professionals around you and be doing group therapy. That's where you lean on the strong people in your life, not a boyfriend, girlfriend situation, because, I've said it in one of my other videos before, 85% of those relationships, there's mental abuse. So if you're trying to stay on your path of healing and getting yourself where you start loving yourself and being so consumed with your happiness instead of their happiness and what they're doing. I mean, like, I've been there. I have been there more than once in a relationship where my whole world revolved around my man and all his drama and everything that's going on in his life and his kids and everything. I always had put them first. When, I became single, all the, those years ago and stuff, I would put them first and neglect my own needs. And when I say that, I'm saying I neglected my needs of my emotional support, because I sure as hell wasn't getting it from them. I mean, I could not pick them to save my life. And some of you may be listening to this and know me personally and think, yeah, she's right. She can't pick them. But the good news is that now that I haven't been in a relationship for a very, very long time, I now can focus on my purpose. And my first purpose is to continue this journey of getting better mental health. And how exciting it is to know that a year ago when I started, how it's just being just pulled and transformed, and how my energy is just so good. All my chakras are just in line. I have overall better sleep. My skin looks better because I'm not stressed out as much. There's just so much better things that are happening in my life. I have peace and harmony in my home. And I couldn't even tell you a time frame. It had to have been when the kids were little. And it was just pretty much right after my divorce, or maybe, no, it wasn't even that. It was after the first relationship, that rebound relationship I had right after my divorce. Once him and I split, then me and the kids, we got our own place and we started, kind of doing our own thing. And that was like the time where I had the peace and the harmony in the house. And when I say peace and harmony, I'm saying, well, yeah, kids need stuff, and they, and you have to work and you have to take care of your kids and you have to juggle back and forth between dads and all this. I get all that. That's not the stress I'm talking about. I'm talking about walking on eggshells in a relationship because, first of all, they don't want you crying around them. They don't want you showing any sign of emotion, because they themselves have something within them that they just block negativity, or they see it as negativity and not vulnerability. And I have yet to have a relationship in my, I don't know, 20 years of dating that my significant other was giving me 100% emotional support the way I was giving it to him. I supported him in his dreams, his goals, boosted him, just lifted him up, all this, but then I didn't get anything in return. In all of my past relationships, my dating relationships, they were, in some form or fashion, they were, they were all fraud. And I say that because when you use the word fraud, that means somebody's fake in the beginning, and then you find out who they really are in the end. I'm guilty of it too. I hid a lot of my secrets, a lot of my problems, my personal problems with mental health, all of those things. I remember going to therapy and lying to my boyfriend about where I was because I didn't even want him knowing I was in therapy when I was 30 years old. So I remember those days of just not being 100% my true, genuine self, just lying, all the time, covering my tracks, because God forbid somebody think I'm effing crazy, there's no woman, just so you know, guys, if y'all are listening to me, if you are interested in a woman, the one thing you don't ever want to do is call her crazy. Don't ever call a woman crazy, especially if she's like pregnant or something. Don't say you're acting crazy. Don't even say you're acting crazy. Don't say you're crazy. Don't say you're acting crazy. That's my 2 cents for today. Don't do it. Okay. That's the first thing I told my son whenever he got into a very serious relationship before him and his wife got married. I said, whatever you do when you're fighting and you're not getting along, never ever tell her the way she's behaving, that she's acting, crazy. If you use that word, it's just going to make it 10 times worse and you'll be on the couch for a week, So I definitely, want to personally say that there are some awesome benefits when you choose to be by yourself and start loving yourself. And you need to know some of the steps. So I have about 3 benefits I'm going to talk about. So the first benefit, and I'm probably going to have to break here in just a little bit, but then I'll come back and do a second part. Anyways, the first benefit is that you'll notice that you get inspired to want the change so much. Just like when you craved, it becomes your addiction. And then what you do is you completely change what's coming into your day. That starts happening immediately is because that negative person in your life is no longer there. You let that person go, okay? Or several of the negative people. I know that in my last relationship, it wasn't just being with a very broken individual that has never, ever wanted to take the steps to change his mental health for the better. But his entire family they were the most negative, drama-filled people I've ever met. Addicted to social media, blasting stuff on social media. It was bad. Now, about, 7, 8 years ago, I blasted somebody out and I felt horrible. And I'm like, I'm never going to do that behavior again. Never will I do that. I haven't since. About the way that particular man treated me and how he cheated and all this, I'm just not going to do that. So anyways, but just, it could be one person or it could be several people. It could be your own family. Sometimes you just have to distance yourself. Okay. Because there's those family members that they think they know more than you about you. And you're like, what? I think I know more about myself. But if you're lying to yourself to make yourself feel better, then maybe they do know more about you. Okay. Stop lying to yourself. We talked about that in one of the last videos, is be real and honest 100% of the time with yourself and project that honesty out with the people that you love that need to know what's going on with you. Actions. So let's go back and think, okay, if I'm really going to commit to this journey and I'm really wanting great mental health for myself, what are the steps I'm going to take? Okay. Another great benefit is getting to sleep by yourself. And there's a benefit into that because you can, and this is what my regimen is. I put my headphones on, I do my meditation, and it stays on, for like, I want to say 2 hours I do. And I dream better, and I have better thoughts going into my mind, and I'm just constant, and I wake up refreshed, and I'm not distracted by, somebody else's, negative, anything, comments or, like bothering me. So you're sleeping by yourself, which is a really good thing because it helps heal the body. You need proper sleep. And when you sleep by yourself, you sleep soundly, and so that's another great benefit, is just you get that sleep back, and it's just, it's you start healing yourself, and then the third benefit is you start remembering who you are and what you want to do and the things that you put off. So some of your goals, some of your talents that you've always had, for years, I had played on a tennis league where I would play tennis on a league every spring with the community group that was in my community. And it was a higher ranking tennis doubles club. And in my last relationship, I didn't devote not one spring to tennis. And I put that off. So what's so great is that this is the first time in like 8 years since I'm back playing tennis. And I'm so happy to be doing it because it makes me feel like this is Andie, this is sunshine. This is what I love. I absolutely love tennis. And I love getting all of my frustrations out on the court. I love being a part of something bigger than me. And it's part of my purpose is to find those things that you love, get back into it. Maybe you used to paint. Maybe you used to go to the gym all the time, you know. Maybe, you find your other sets of therapies, that you're doing. Are you staying active? Is it an active therapy? If it's an active therapy, I say do it. Just do it. Take that trip, take that vacation you've been wanting to take by yourself. I am so excited because I do have a vacation coming up this summer, and it's by myself with my puppy, with my dog. Because, I have to have protection. So me and Emmy, we're going on vacation, and I'm super excited about that. So, but getting back to that is, it could be a number of things. Write it down. I talked about journaling before. Your daily goals. Try to meet those goals, but don't be hard on yourself if you can't hit all those goals. So when you're writing down, just give yourself a little bit, and say your day, you get everything done, then write down 5 more goals, like do 5 and then do 5 more. You don't have to just beat yourself up every single day, and you could do it every other day. Slowly. I mean, this is baby steps that we're doing, but do it for yourself. Don't do it for anybody else. So when I say go back to the sport you love, you're doing it for yourself. Okay. Like, I met this guy one time, and he said that he used to be a boxer, and how he's always wanted to get back into it because it helped him with his mental health. And then teaching and training other boxers. And I thought, that's really good, because you're getting your frustrations out, and you're also teaching and training the next, generation coming up to become, professional boxers. And I just thought that was really incredible that he wanted to get back into it. He stepped out of it because he got out of shape, and, he got busy, and then, he had a relationship that, took up a lot of his time. And he honestly thought that, he was just getting too old for it to have that kind of hobby. You're never too old. You're not too old for being in a band, at 40s and 50s. My cousin, who is my best friend, he's been playing music and being a singer, a songwriter, and he put out an album, and he's in, at least right now he's in 2 cover bands, and that's his passion. That's something that he enjoys doing, and I'm just so thankful that he never met, anybody along the way, any of the girlfriends he's had along the way that didn't like it, because, I mean, who the hell doesn't like music? I mean, if you don't like music, I don't think you're human. You definitely ain't from here, because Texas is big about music. We love our music, from our dance music to our pop to our hip hop, all that, R&B, blues, country, Texas red dirt. I mean, I could go on and on. Our classic rock, soft rock, big hair band rock, whatever. We love our music, and we come from a very big music family. Now, I personally don't, sometimes I'll play the tambourine, and, and in church, I used to be a good singer, but now I'm just, now that I've gotten older, I'm not that good. I don't sing as much. I think if I practice every single day, I would, but that's not where I wanted to put my passions. I wanted to put my passions back into the thing that I absolutely loved more than anything. And plus, you're exercising, you're getting your body, and you're outside. And, sometimes we have to play indoor courts, but you're you're surrounded by people that have the same passion as you. So it makes it wonderful. That's why, I say, I mean, my 80-year-old sweet little aunt, she has been an artist her entire life. And she loves teaching painting. And she teaches painting once a week still, just because she enjoys it. She doesn't do it to get recognized or to be glorified in any way. She does it just to give back. I mean, they don't even pay. They just, there's just a group of women that know her talent and know what she's done, and they just, and she just volunteers and to teach them. And I think it's the greatest thing, and volunteering is great. I know that Emmy and I volunteer. With her being a service animal, we also volunteer at the Humane Society. So we do 2 types of volunteers, but I stay very busy with my puppy. And just getting out in nature is where I feel my most peace. Absolutely. If I'm walking Emmy, or if we're going to the park, or if we're going on a bike ride, because she is trained to be on the leash right beside me when I'm riding my bike. She'll stay very straight. She's very well trained. She's just a smart baby, aren't you? She's laying down over here on the floor. But anyhow, she goes everywhere with me. And it's one of those things where I usually don't do anything without her. But saying all that, I wanted to say that this is part 1 of just, if it requires you to be by yourself to go on this journey, then do it. Just if you feel it in your gut, then that should tell you, okay, I need to be by myself to go on this journey, because you don't really know how long the journey is. I've been on my journey coming up on, a year, and it has, like a real true commitment of my journey. Yes, I've had to work. Yes, I've had to do other things. Yes, I have a family. Yes, I have obligations. I have responsibilities. But I'm thankful right now that I am single, because it helps me, and I'm nowhere near ready to not be single. I love my life the way it is right now. Yes, I have challenges. Yes, I have deadlines with work. Yes, I have, stresses, but I cope with them so much better being by myself. And I am, for the first time in my life, I am truly comfortable being by myself. And it's like I'm my best friend. I can talk, and share. Finally, I can start sharing some of the progress that I have been seeing, real results, So the next video I'm going to do will be the second part, and I will come back and talk about the 5 steps to loving yourself. And they're super, super easy, and you do them every single day. And we'll talk about that in the next video. I'm going to take a break with Sunshine Andy. Be back soon.